Now let's test those magic new 12-inch guns, shall we? Fire when ready. There they go. He's already cooking nicely. That will be fun. Okay, we hit him, we have the range, and oh my god, that looks good. Yes! Wow! Those effects are spicy. Honestly, they are. Okay. Remember that name. And what do we see on the radar? A plane. There he is. And we light him up. 5-inch 38s, 40mm Bofors. He's burning, crit, and oh my god, that's almost Japanese. Appropriate, according to the skin. No, not today. He's also quite salty. Thanks for the content, man. Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to the first impressions on the USS Alaska CB-1 in its 1944 configuration. So this US battlecruiser rank 5 is at battle rating 7.0. That is quite harsh. That's the new top battle rating, and I think it should be 6.7 because of the sheer power difference to some of the real hard hitters. Thinking about that, Naval Forces is busted at the moment anyway. To be honest, it could be worse. It's a real mix-up anyway, so this is not your main concern. And to be honest, the Alaska is quite good. So what we have is a lot of AA, we are highly mobile, we are the first capital ship, as far as I can tell, that has a radar. And as you could see, it's quite nice to at least warn you about incoming planes if you're in the heat of the battle. So we have already the dreadful USS Wyoming, the awful North Dakota, the absolute choke of a wannabe battleship, the USS Arizona, and now we have the first US battlecruiser. And to be honest, like so many other battlecruisers in this game, it actually is really well suited for the environment, considering what it is. You expect it to be bad versus battleships, but that's actually not the case. More about this in just a moment. So let's go roughly over the basics. We have an all or nothing armor scheme. The main armor belt is 230mm thick. The bulkheads and fore and aft are 260mm thick, so you can angle quite nicely. The barbettes have various different thicknesses. From the side they are a bit thicker with 305 and 330mm, and in front and rear they are 280mm. Very interesting are the very flat turrets with their very thick angled front armor plate, which is 325mm thick and has a line of sight thickness of over 400mm. That's quite something, and you don't lose your turrets that often, as you might expect from how many shells get flung at your way. They are not immune, you still lose them from time to time, but I don't think you lose them that often, so it might make a difference that you actually have armor. Then you have various different inner anti-shrapnel shields and fragmentation armor. The deck armor is very interesting. Over the magazines it's 108mm, over the machinery it goes down to 97mm, and there is then a plate below that of 16mm. As I said, all or nothing armor scheme, so at the bow there is no armor whatsoever, and also on the rear just the steering house has some protection. And there is a huge superstructure with all the AA in the world. We have 34 20mm, we have 14 quadruple 40mm Bofors, and we have 6 twin 5-inch 38s. The way that the 5-inch 38s are arranged, you basically can shoot not just with your magic 3 triple 12-inch gun turrets with those wonderful 12-inch/50 Mark 8 cannons, but you also have a Moffett available with their coding, ammunition and rate of fire and enough ammunition. So that's quite something. The magazines, well, this is something. It could be disastrous if somebody actually pens just below the main, just above the main deck and the upper deck. You barbette because there is all the ammunition in the world in the turret rings, but as I just said, they are relatively well protected and there is actually no real magazine, if you will. So I have not played enough battles to tell you if this is a huge problem or an advantage. So one problem is that you cannot really fire straight forward because the bow is really high, and on the top of the bow there is also a 40mm, so you cannot really fire straight forward with both turrets. So limited firing arcs there. Overall, the ship is quite fast, 61 kilometers per hour, and I found it, when you angle it, quite durable. But if you don't angle it, well, there is no turtleback, there is no second layer of defense. You can easily get one shot, and it happened to me so far. So what about those 12-inch guns? Well, they are very modern, and you basically have two ammunition types. You have the stock HE shell, the 12-inch Mark 17 HC, which I mostly used, and it has really nice performance. 808 meters per second muzzle velocity, 35.3 kilograms of TNT warhead. Both stats are considerably lower than the fake wannabe stats of the Kronstadt, but they are still capable. 68 millimeters of penetration against all angles at any distance, and they, together with the 5-inch 38s, they really give the enemy the golden HE shower. It's fantastic. Reload of the guns is 30 seconds. And then we have the 12-inch Mark 18 AP, 762 meters per second, and 7.7 kilograms of TNT warhead, and 621 millimeters of penetration, and then at 10 kilometers 434. That is quite something. That is quite good. And I think that I mostly use the HE. The AP has the old Scharnhorst feel that if you don't outright hit the magazine, it just doesn't do all that much damage versus a battleship, but it is really filthy versus some cruisers, with the exception, of course, of the Helena, which has just a busted damage model. End of discussion. So you have a radar, which you from time to time, when it gets hit and you repair it, have to turn on again, and you can spot planes. You also can pick them up on radar and lead with your 5-inch 38s, which is quite nice. And you have also a lot of 40 millimeters. So your AA is second to none, basically. It's really good. But then it just fails on me a little bit, the ship. It's not that it's good, but the problem is the ship would be really good versus heavy cruisers. But I have not fought a single heavy cruiser that I can remember. It was all fighting and whittling down Helenas, and also whittling down Moffats, whittling down enemy battleships. I had a very long battle in this battle with a Kronstadt at range, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know, to duke the salvos and to just hit him over and over and over with HE up until the point that I got insignificant hits, drowned his crew basically in HE, and did so much damage that at the end I killed him, which you will see in just a moment. So again, very first impressions. At the moment the matchmaker is just nuts. All the bots are out there. Gaijin is still not doing anything about them. I guess the Moffat and the Helenas are selling quite nicely, so why bother fixing the problem if the problem makes you money? I mean, it's part of their business model. I have no other explanation though. And I think that it's a bit of a shame, because Naval is in a state that could be easily better, but that's again a question for a different video. When it comes to the Alaska, I like it. Is it worth going through the US tech tree? Well, actually yes, because you don't have to grind any of the other battleships. You only have to go through the light cruiser line, which is utmost excellent. After rank 3 you go to the Atlanta, the Cleveland, the Brooklyn, and they're just fantastic for grinding together with the Helena if you have it. You don't have to waste your time with something like Portland, Northampton and Pensacola, and even the Pittsburgh is acceptable. Although the Alaska has 42,000 civil line repair costs and the Pittsburgh has 30,000. And for the Pittsburgh, I'm not quite so sure. The heavy cruisers just don't have the damage output. But if you like something like the Baltimore and Pittsburgh, you will love the Alaska. I can promise you that. So that's it for me today. Again, only very first impressions. I had to really hurry to make this video. That's it for me today, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more. For you it's just a click, for me it means the world. And as usual, we will see each other on the battlefields, in the skies and on the waves of War Thunder.